Hello, is this thing on? Tap, tap, tap. Well, hello. Thank you for clicking on the video. So I had actually started drawing this, and then I was like, wait, let me go ahead and record it. So that's why you kind of already have some of the guidelines. So yes, I am drawing DPR IAN, my favorite artist. I spoke about him a little bit in my sketchbook tour, if you saw that. But this is a very iconic photo of him during the regime tour, his last tour. Somebody gave him a strawberry hat and he put it on, and everybody is literally in love with that photo, including me. So I was like, okay, I have to draw it. He's too cute. He looks too adorable. This man is 33 years old. He should not be this adorable. But anyway, so yeah, that's what I'm drawing. But while I was watching this, while I was drawing this, I was watching different art YouTube, kind of like studio, day in the life of a studio, draw with me's. I like watching that kind of content, something I can listen to when I'm drawing, and something I can relate to as well. So I actually had to mute this video because I kind of like to leave the noise of the drawing and the erasing and just kind of like the white noise in my videos, but I had to mute my video this time just because you could hear the person speaking because I had it on speaker. So note to self, next time I will have to wear headphones or something because I like the sounds of me being able to, like, the pencil on paper. There you go. I like those sounds. Oh, and then the table keeps shaking so much just because I'm drawing on like one of those kind of like fold TV dinner tables, so it's not the most stable, but it's the best I have right now. My setup is literally just a little phone. What is this called? Phone. It's not a tripod. It has the little clamp at the end, a phone clamp on my, what is that? On my clothing rack. Clamped it to my clothing rack. And my little dinner table foldable setup. And that is a towel I threw over it so it doesn't look too boring, I guess you could say. Something cute to look at in the background. I'm trying to remember, did I have like a hard time with this drawing? I think I did. Oh, okay, we're not there yet, but I was actually pretty proud of how I drew his teeth, because teeth are always very, very scary to me. But even though I haven't drawn them yet, I think at the end result, they came out decently. So I guess when I was speaking about other things I like to watch long form content, so like at least 30 minutes plus, especially when I'm drawing, so I don't have to keep stopping to draw to find something else to watch, because I don't like drawing in silence, and I kind of don't like drawing while listening to music. I don't know why. I don't. But one podcast I was listening to, a person brought up jealousy. And they were talking about like how they do get jealous about people. Well, because the whole podcast was about polyamory and how they were in a poly relationship, not right now, but That doesn't mean they don't want to. But in the polyamory relationship, when there was 3 partners altogether, but they had 2 partners, that of course they would get jealous sometimes seeing the other 2 partners. And they were speaking about how they don't think jealousy is a necessarily bad emotion. And when I heard that, I was like, that's a take on it. I remember another artist I watched, Ergo Josh, he also said being envious is kind of a good feeling. Not good feeling, but a good thing, because it might make you want to strive harder for something. It might try to motivate you. It might turn into inspiration. So hearing this podcast and hearing the person speak about jealousy and how it's maybe not be a bad feeling, I was like, interesting. In my point of view, I think it really depends on the person, like the individual. Especially for me, because I know when I was a few years back, I was really jealous about something in my life. Well, it was basically my friend had gotten a boyfriend, and she spent all of her time with him, all of it. And I was jealous because I felt like I was left in the dust. Oh my gosh. And I was jealous for a very long time. Like literally for their whole relationship. And they're married now. I remember I went to their wedding and I was still feeling moments of jealousy. But then something in me just like kind of switched, and I was like, okay, I can't be like this anymore. She's getting married to this man. He is going to be in her life forever, basically, until death do them part, hopefully. So I don't know, something in my brain switched, and I was like, I need to hug him. And when I hugged him, the jealousy all just like washed away. Oh, I'm kind of like tearing up a little bit thinking about that, but it all washed away. And that was it was a pivotal moment for myself, because I just felt so much better, so much relief. And I could generally be happy for my friend now. They are still together. They got married back in like 2019. They're still together, still very loving, and I'm so happy for her. And I'm just glad for myself that I'm happy for her, because when I was jealous, it was such a negative, ugly feeling. Like, it was horrible. Like, I hated it so much. It was like, and I didn't know how to not be jealous. Because it's not like I'm jealous of her skill, of her talent, of something that I could try to improve myself with. I was jealous of her relationship because, like I said, I felt like I was forgotten, because we were like BFFs. I would still say we're besties. It's just that when you're an adult, your definition of bestie is different from when you're a child. Yes, so she is a very good friend of mine. But yeah, there was, I think, in my life, that's the biggest moment or time that I can remember I was jealous. There have been other times where I was momentarily jealous of people, just because of the things they succeeded with and whatnot. And I go back to what Ergo Josh said, and how being envious could be a motivator. And I think in a way it is for me, because I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Because during those moments of jealousy back a few years back, I never really did anything. It didn't motivate me to do anything. I just was able in those moments to convince myself, to change myself, to say, no, being jealous is not good. They did work hard for this. I know that. So I need to be happy for them. And thankfully, through those words, I was able to Stop being jealous in those circumstances of people making achievements that they worked hard for. Because I think if I were kind of like on the receiving end of an achievement and somebody was jealous of me, I think I would be sad. Especially since I'm the kind of person who thinks a lot about people, and I always want to try to make people as comfortable as possible, which is honestly, it's kind of bad because I do things that are detrimental to myself, that where I always don't have fun, or like things like that. So kind of need to stop trying to make everything comfortable for everybody. Like if I'm not hosting a party, I'm gonna make sure everybody's having fun. Like that's if that's not my problem, especially if you're just like a person there, and I don't really know you. Sorry, go to your friends. I mean, I'll try to help you out a little bit, but it's not my main responsibility. I'm here to have fun for myself. Okay, but now here I am drawing his hand. This is where I had some difficulties, and even after I finished the drawing, I still didn't like the hand because the proportions were way off. Like his hand is gonna turn out way bigger than his head, which of course should not be the case. I think a big trouble I have with drawing is definitely the proportions, and trying to like cite the drawings in a way, like mentally measure them to get those proportions correct. I read the book Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain, and I understand why that book is super recommended and popular, because it did have some very good points. I'll be honest, I don't remember half of the book. That's just me though. But I do go back in and reread and do some of the exercises from time to time. I remember one thing she said is to try to find a basic unit and then measure everything to that unit. So I don't do that a lot. I don't think I do that ever actually. But as I'm going, I am trying to be way more aware of what I am drawing and how it's proportional to the things around it. But sometimes I just get so sucked into like drawing this one part, I forget to mentally measure. Or sometimes I even just like take my hands and measure with my hands, because that helps out a lot actually. And I think before I started measuring, I was always like so confused. I'm like, what are you talking about? How do you measure this real life thing to this little paper? Like, I don't understand how you guys do it. Like, I'm confused. But now I understand. So say like if I was measuring an arm to a head or something, I would see how many times the head fits the length of the arm and like in the reference, and then I would transfer that measurement to my drawing. I don't know, it never, because I did take an art class, and when my art professor tried to explain measuring, I didn't understand. I was like, I don't know how to do this, so I'm just gonna keep drawing my own way. But now I finally do, and it is very, very helpful. And I think I might, and maybe in my future drawings, I might even draw like some guidelines, because that I've noticed that has helped me also try to get proportions right. Not perfect, but it's helped. It's really helped, so I'm happy about that. Okay, so going back to what I usually watch when I draw. Before this, I was drawing and listening to an artist's vlog at Artist Alley at conventions. And that was like super motivating for me to watch, like, because I love conventions. I miss conventions so much as an attendee. Well, actually, in the recent years, I've been volunteering at conventions, which is very fun. I love it. But I haven't been able to go to as many as I want, just because of the economy and everything's so expensive, and I just can't afford it right now. Like, I was going to actually try to work for MegaCon, and they did say that they would like me to work, but I couldn't because it's just too expensive. I would like, if I had gone to MegaCon, I wouldn't have broken even because I think they paid either $12 or $13. And then after all the expenses, like getting there, because I live in Florida, but I live in South Florida and I don't drive, so I'd have to take the train to Orlando, get an Airbnb or hotel or something. It was going to be an Airbnb. And then like the Ubers between the Airbnb and the venue of the convention, and then the food on top of that, it would have been like so expensive. And then of course I would have bought things in Artist Alley because I cannot go to the convention and not buy things. I am a shopaholic when it comes to conventions. I love supporting artists. I wish I could do it more, but right now that's not on the budget. But I love going to Artist Alley and supporting local artists. It's very fun. My favorite part. And also just the vibes, because I feel like I get so inspired, because I would love for one day for my art to be at the level of where I could get an Artist Alley table at a convention or something. And I think maybe, I'm gonna say in a year that can happen. I'm gonna say it here. In a year, I will be good enough to have the confidence to submit an application for a table or purchase a table at an Artist Alley. Hopefully. Please. I think so. I think I can do it. I've been very disciplined with myself. I'm super happy of how far my art has come. And it's only up. It can only go up. It can't go reverse, you know? So here we go. And I actually kind of almost forgot to draw these little leaves. Yes. So I was about to finish. That's why you see me put the date. And what else did I write? Oh, and I wrote that as DPR IAN, because sometimes when I flip through my sketchbooks, I'm like, who is this person that I drew? I have no idea who they are. But this is the finished drawing. You see, look at that hand. So much bigger than his face, but you know, it's okay. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. Good night. Goodbye.